days, we are going to hear 30 days left till Christmas. Right. Yes, Michelle said, in 365 days till next time. Yes. Yes. It's a construct. And because it's a construct, what happens is we can either be filled with anticipation or we can be filled with anxiety. Anticipation, if we're very little kids and we're just like, oh my God, all this stuff is gonna happen, all the great food and maybe some gifts and people coming in. Anticipation, if we're adults and we've bought into the myth of what Thanksgiving should look like, what Christmas should look like. Anxiety, if we're bringing with us those past experiences with individuals that we are going to meet on these wonderful holidays that we spend with family and friends, right? All constructed around this time concept. And when we do some research, we know that Christ was not born December 25th, was he? No. But there's all of this anticipation or anxiety around what it should look like, what it means. For me, cranberry sauce means love. Now you may laugh, but in my late teens and early 20s, that's exactly what it meant for me. You remember when we were kind of tweens and we had our first crush, we had those daisies and we'd go, he loves me not. He loves me not, right? And that would make or break our relationships at the time. For me, cranberry sauce was the thing. See, I was the only one in my immediate family who liked cranberry sauce. No one else liked it. If my mom bought it, she loved me. If she forgot, not so much, right? That was the story. Those were the thoughts. I could be sitting at that Thanksgiving table, and they could say to me, we're going to canonize you for sainthood, but if that cranberry sauce was not on the table, I wasn't hearing any of it. Why? I wasn't in that present moment, was I? I'm like, 79 cents, that's all it costs, is 79 cents. I mean, for a can. I'm not asking them to make it, just for a can. You know, they could have that cranberry sauce there. I'm not in the present moment with those individuals at that point now, am I? And you may think, oh, it's such a silly thing as cranberry sauce, but how often do we do that to ourselves? Thanksgiving, gotta have, maybe the Mr. and Mrs. Pilgrim salt and pepper shakers. Gotta have that turkey platter, the one with the pretty turkey on it for Thanksgiving. Grandma's tablecloth has to be there, right? Pumpkin pie. Without the pumpkin pie, Jesse, don't duck, I know your voice. Without the pumpkin pie, right? It's not Thanksgiving. And sometimes, because we are not in the present moment, we get to see scenes like this clip that I'm going to show you. If you would press play, thanks.
All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I am so thankful to have you all here today.
I am thankful that I only burned the turkey a little bit. Sorry, gang.
I am thankful that our governor is not going to let those refugees in here.
Oh my God.
The refugees are all ISIS in disguise.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I actually saw an ISIS in the A&P today when I was picking up the yams.
No, you didn't, Aunt Kathy. That was an Asian woman.
I have a question for you. Why is it that your friends keep antagonizing the police?
Why would you ask my boyfriend
Well,
that?
I'm just trying to get to know Jamal.
That's very constitutional.
And she's a guest here. Excuse me? I don't know who's who. Well, she's a guest here.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if I you like to be, to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal you. I love.
Oh, your grandparents are here.
How was the play?
Oh, it was good. Good.
I saw two transgenders at the airport. They still look kind of pretty.
Very interesting trend, this.
Oh my God.
Transgender is not a trend, Mr. Paul.
And there weren't any around when I was younger.
Yeah, they were there, but they couldn't say anything, so they lived sad lives and died.
No, talking about Thanksgiving.
Let's get to know everything.
Holy crap,
Oh, the pies are ready.
And I am ready to vote for Ben Carson.
You are such a... Dig in, everyone.
Thanks, sit down.
Thanksgiving. And we laugh because it's so true, is it not? Right? Oh my. So in that skit, Adele was able to bring them to that present moment, right? They were there. They could feel each other, love each other in that present moment. And as the quote says, it's only now. Now, this now moment is our doorway. This now moment is our doorway to joy, to love, to connection. This now moment. Only now is real. Only now is real. Only now is real. When we get caught in our memories and our thoughts, it hijacks us away from this present moment. And it's really easy to happen when we are with, especially our family of origin. They're the ones who kind of installed those little buttons that they know how to press so well, right? So it's easy to forget that we've gone out from that present moment. So here's some tips that I've got for you. How do we shift back into the now moment? When we feel ourselves in resistance, that's a clue. If we're in defensive, if we're in resistance, we are not in that now moment. And a lot of times we're in the intellect. It's our go-to, it's human nature. But if you haven't convinced Aunt Millie about the right political party yet, it's not going to happen this Thanksgiving either, right? But we still go in with the same kind of intention, don't we? Well, if I just present my case, logically, well thought out, Aunt Millie can't help but jumping on board. And yet, we go crazy because Aunt Millie does not jump on board. So I think they call that insanity, right? Doing the same behavior over and over again, thinking that we're going to have different results. And you may say, yeah, but I didn't have this kind of tactic before. But it's the same methodology, basically. So when we find ourselves in our intellect, one, the awareness is the intellect does not connect, does not create intimacy and connection in relationships. It puts a barrier. So when we find ourselves in the intellect, then we want to get into the flow. And the way that we do that is by focusing on our heart, right? By moving from in the thinking to focusing on our heart chakra and breathing into that. With me so far? Make sense? Okay. Another way that we're in resistance. I've got to go to the in-laws. Oh my God, you don't know about my mother-in-law. Why do they make me go every time to the in-laws for Thanksgiving? Can't we just do it a little differently? Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm in that thinking, I'm in resistance. I'm not in the present moment. I'm not in the flow. So what I need to do is reframe that. I have a mother-in-law that produced this wonderful man over here. How amazing is that? And I get to say thank you to her every Thanksgiving. Thank you for bringing this man to me. Heart, right? Connection. Big difference there in the flow. Another one that comes up when we're in resistance is judgment. Now, I've been doing the Shadow to Light workshop for the last 12 weeks. Our last week is this Tuesday. Wow. But what has come up for me in all my saintliness, how is it possible? I'm still judgy. I'm still judgmental. Right? Now, usually when I'm in that judgmental place, I'm doing comparisons. I'm doing a lot of comparison, and whenever I'm in that comparison head, I'm losing. And that's also an intellectual endeavor. So when I'm in there, I have an opportunity to stop myself and go, what? What is going on for me? And get to the place of acceptance. So, why can't they just not go there? Why did they vote for that man? I don't understand it. They're logical, they're intellectual, they're smart, they're capable, they're educated. How could they? Well, they did. They did. And for them, it made absolute perfect sense. And your function is to love them in that. To accept this is who they are. They made the best choice in whatever it is. It could be religion, it can be anything, but we get so stuck in how could they? How could it possibly look this way? It should be. You know, we should all over ourselves, right? And so the reframing there is, it is. It just is. And then we get into that dissatisfaction. We don't like something. We don't like what they're saying. We don't like what they're talking about. We don't like. Why didn't they have any vegan food for me or gluten-free food? Yeah, right? How about appreciating what they do have? Appreciating that they love you in their own way that they can. It may not make sense to you. It may not feel like love to you, but for them, it is. It's their way of loving you. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm in that place of being in the flow, I'm expansive, right? I am now open to love and more goodness and more joy. I'm open to spirit flowing in and as me. I'm able to show up as my divine, true nature. Not pretending, not having that face on, oh, you know, I'm so evolved and divine. When inside, I want to kick their butt, right? No, this is truly stepping into our nature. And when we get to do that, we get to live in the present moment. We get to laugh at ourselves. We get to laugh at the quirkiness that is our family, as opposed to being in resistance. So this holiday, you have an opportunity to do this differently. So I'm hoping that you took some notes or camera shots so that when Aunt Millie does the, oh my God, can you believe they are doing this? You can just go, all right, I'm gonna, oh, I understand now, right? And you can shift and you can reframe. And you can be sane. How about that for holiday? Sane in the present moment. And if you forget everything that I have just talked about. I don't know how you could, because this was a very riveting talk. But if you do, would you press play for me, my loves? I'm going to remind you about that bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass. We're all the wrong folks in all the wrong places.
Daddy, please.
Think of it as from the bottom to the top. Woo! All about the bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass, more butter. I'm all about that bass. Woo! Put a back. Yay, Bridget. Woo! From the bottom to the top. Yeah! And so now we have to meditate. Okay. There we go.